Do you know that your thoughts can shape your reality? It might sound like magic, but groundbreaking research by Jacobo Grinberg suggests a fascinating connection between consciousness and wealth manifestation. In this video, we dive deep into the science behind how your mind influences your financial reality, revealing shocking insights that could change how you view success forever. Discover the hidden potential within you and learn how to harness the power of your consciousness to attract abundance. Stay with us until the end, because what you'll learn could be the key to transforming your life. Let's get started. Number 1. Mirror neurons and wealth energy. Alright, let's dive into something super intriguing, the idea of mirror neurons and their potential link to wealth manifestation. Now, the term mirror neurons might sound like something straight out of a sci-fi flick, but the concept is rooted in something deeply human. These are the neurons that fire not just when we do something, but also when we see someone else doing it. In simple terms, they help us connect with the actions and emotions of others, almost like we're mirroring what's happening around us. Here's where it gets interesting. These mirror neurons are thought to play a key role in how we relate to the world, not just in terms of empathy, but also in how we perceive and interact with the energy around us. Energy, in this case, can mean a lot of things. It's the vibe in a room, the frequency we operate on, and yes, the invisible yet powerful force that can affect our experiences. The idea is that our mind isn't just reacting to things, but also constantly picking up on the energy of others. This is especially true in situations where wealth and success are in the air. Imagine this: you're around someone who radiates confidence and abundance. They don't even need to say a word. But without a doubt, you feel the shift. It's as if their energy is contagious. That's your mirror neurons at work, picking up on their state of being and aligning you with it. This might sound a bit woo-woo, but stick with me. There's a deeper connection between these neurons and the way we might attract or manifest wealth. When we align our mindset with the energy of those who are successful, something subtle happens. We start to mirror their thoughts, their attitudes, and even their habits. It's like a silent transmission of wealth energy. Your brain, through its mirror neurons, starts to internalize and replicate the behaviors that are linked to abundance. And the kicker? You don't even have to actively try. It's as if you're subconsciously tuning yourself to a channel where success is the norm, not the exception. But here's the thing. This isn't just about copying someone's actions or speech. It goes deeper. It's about tapping into the frequency of abundance. When we immerse ourselves in the presence of people who think and act in ways that invite wealth, our mirror neurons begin to sync with the positive, empowered state of mind they exude. You know how some people just walk into a room, and you can feel their presence? That's because their energy is charged with a certain frequency. And as our mirror neurons pick that up, we can't help but resonate with it. Now, here's where it gets even juicier. The connection between consciousness and manifestation hinges on this idea of mirroring. If we can train our minds and bodies to align with the energy of wealth and abundance, we're essentially opening the floodgates for that energy to flow into our lives. Our mirror neurons can pick up on the vibrations of success, but we also need to be in a state of awareness to fully channel it. It's not just about going through the motions, it's about understanding that wealth isn't a static thing that only happens in certain circumstances. It's an energy that flows, and we have the ability to tune ourselves into it. So, what does this all mean in practical terms? Well, for one, it suggests that wealth manifestation isn't just about visualization or affirmations. It's about living in a state where we are constantly surrounded by the right energy, where our thoughts and behaviors are in sync with abundance. Our mirror neurons are working overtime to help us achieve that. Whether you realize it or not, every time you step into a space of abundance, be it through the people you meet, the environments you inhabit, or even the media you consume, you are reinforcing the connection between consciousness and wealth. It's not magic, it's neuroscience meeting manifestation. And that's a pretty powerful combo. Number 2, the power of focused intention in altering reality. Let's talk about focused intention, this idea that your mind isn't just a passive observer but an active participant in shaping the world around you. It might sound a little out there at first, like something you'd hear in a late-night self-help seminar. But stay with me, because this concept, especially when tied to consciousness, has a kind of magic that's hard to ignore. Think of focused intention as more than just wanting something. It's not about casually daydreaming or wishing on a star. It's about this razor-sharp clarity that comes from knowing exactly what you want and pouring your energy into it with purpose. It's like when you're tuning a radio and suddenly hit the right frequency. The signal is strong, clear, and unshakable. That's the level of mental focus we're talking about here. When you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions, you're not just floating in the current of life, you're steering the boat. Here's where it gets really fascinating. Consciousness, as described by thinkers like Jacobo Grinberg, isn't just locked inside your brain. It's like a web, connected to everything around you. When you focus your intention on a specific outcome, you're not just changing your mindset, you might actually be influencing the fabric of reality itself. It's like sending ripples through this vast, interconnected field of possibilities, and those ripples have the power to create waves. But here's the kicker, focus alone isn't enough. It's not like you can sit in a room, close your eyes, and magically conjure up a pile of cash or a dream life just because you want it. That's the mistake a lot of people make when they hear about concepts like manifestation. The secret sauce is in the energy you bring to your focus. It's about emotion, deep, raw, and unfiltered. When you feel something so intensely that it's almost like you're already living it, your consciousness starts syncing with that version of reality. Think about this, the mind loves stories, and the one you tell yourself is the most important of all. When your thoughts are scattered, when your desires are half-baked or filled with doubt, the story you project is fuzzy. But when you focus with laser precision, your story becomes vivid, real, and impossible to ignore, not just by you, but by the universe itself. It's like putting up a bright neon sign in the middle of the cosmos that screams, "This is what I'm creating." And here's where the real magic happens. Once you've honed that intention, something shifts. Suddenly, opportunities start showing up. It's not like they magically appeared out of thin air. They were always there, but your awareness wasn't tuned in to notice them. Focused intention acts like a magnifying glass, sharpening your view and illuminating paths you never saw before. But let's not sugarcoat it. It's not all smooth sailing. Focused intention requires discipline, a kind of mental training where you don't let distractions pull you off course. It's easy to let doubt creep in, to second-guess yourself, or to let your energy waver when things don't happen as fast as you'd like. That's where a lot of people give up. They think, maybe this doesn't work, or maybe I'm not good enough. But here's the truth, the universe doesn't operate on your schedule. It's like planting a seed. You water it, you nurture it, and you trust that it will grow, even when you can't see what's happening under the surface. The beauty of focused intention is that it's a dance. It's not just about controlling everything with your mind, it's about trusting the process, staying open, and letting the energy you've created flow freely. It's about holding that intention with a quiet confidence, like knowing a sunrise is inevitable even when the sky is still dark. So, here's the takeaway, focused intention isn't just wishful thinking. It's a deliberate act of aligning your consciousness with the reality you want to create. When you do it right, it's not just your mind that changes, it's the very fabric of your world. Number 3, collective consciousness amplifying individual manifestation. The idea of collective consciousness is fascinating, especially when we think about how it might amplify individual efforts to manifest wealth. It's almost like this unseen energy field, where the more minds are tuned into a particular frequency, the more potent their individual efforts become. Imagine it like a group of people focused on building the same vision, but instead of just one person pushing the idea forward, it's a whole network of people unknowingly accelerating each other's manifestations. When collective consciousness comes into play, the power doesn't just multiply, it skyrockets. At the core, manifestation is about aligning your thoughts, feelings, and actions with what you want to attract into your life. But here's the catch. When you try to manifest something as big as wealth, doing it alone can feel like swimming against the current. But what if everyone around you is swimming in the same direction, and at the same speed? This collective energy amplifies your personal frequency, boosting your chances of bringing your desires into reality. It's like having an invisible support system that propels you forward with more force than your efforts alone could ever muster. Now, think about how much energy we give off as individuals. Our thoughts are vibrations that send out signals into the universe, right? When we're focused on abundance, those thoughts create ripples in the fabric of reality. But imagine if those ripples weren't just your own. Imagine them merging with the thoughts of thousands, or even millions, of other people all focused on the same goal. The impact is no longer just your single ripple in the ocean, it becomes a tidal wave. And here's the thing about waves, they don't work in isolation. They interact, combine, and create something much bigger than the sum of their parts. When many people channel their energy into a common vision, that collective energy starts to resonate at a higher level. The more individuals are aligned with a shared purpose, the more powerful the collective vibration becomes. It's like when a group of musicians plays in harmony, each note adding to the next, creating a beautiful, powerful sound that would be impossible to achieve solo. In this scenario, each person's individual manifestation becomes stronger and more likely to materialize because the collective consciousness is pushing that intention forward. What's mind-blowing is how seamlessly this process works. You might be at home visualizing your financial abundance, focusing on the details of your wealth manifesting, but when you join in with others who are doing the same, your energy merges with theirs, creating a stronger, more focused force. That unified field of energy can attract opportunities, resources, and insights that you wouldn't have noticed before. It's like you're tuning into a shared frequency where the universe starts delivering exactly what you need, sometimes in the most unexpected ways. The power of collective consciousness doesn't just multiply the physical resources available to you, it aligns the universe's timing, too. The more people involved in the manifestation process, the more synchronicities, opportunities, and even lucky breaks seem to line up. Things that would have taken years to manifest on your own might fall into place in a matter of months. It's as though the universe recognizes the strength of the collective intent and aligns its energies accordingly, speeding up the process and making it more fluid. But here's the catch, it's not about merely being part of the crowd. The real magic happens when everyone involved holds the same vision with the same level of intensity and belief. It's not enough for just a few people to believe, it requires a deep, collective alignment in thought and energy. The stronger the collective belief, the more powerful the manifestation. In essence, the link between collective consciousness and wealth manifestation is a powerful feedback loop. As more individuals tune into this collective energy, they not only contribute to the manifestation of wealth but also benefit from the increased energy that surrounds them. Each individual's success feeds into the greater success, creating a positive cycle that enhances the flow of abundance for everyone involved. It's like building a magnet that attracts wealth, where the more people contribute their energy, the stronger the magnet gets, drawing in more opportunities and abundance for all. Number 4, neuroplasticity and abundance. Alright, let's get into something truly fascinating, neuroplasticity and how it might relate to the concept of abundance. I know, it sounds like a big scientific term, but trust me, once you understand it, you'll see how it ties directly into manifesting wealth and success. So, what exactly is neuroplasticity? In simple terms, it's the brain's ability to change and adapt throughout your life. Think of it as your brain's version of a software update. When you learn new skills, form new habits, or experience new things, your brain literally rewires itself to accommodate these changes. It's like a muscle that can grow stronger with use, but instead of lifting weights, you're lifting your mind to new heights. Now, let's break this down. What does this have to do with abundance, wealth, and success? Well, imagine your brain as a blank canvas at birth, and over time, it starts to pick up patterns, beliefs, and behaviors based on everything you see, hear, and experience. For most of us, the way we view the world around us, especially money, has been heavily influenced by our upbringing, society, and past experiences. For years, you might have been programmed to think of wealth as something distant, something only a select few can attain. Maybe you were taught that money is hard to come by or that only certain people are deserving of it. But here's the thing, none of that is set in stone. Your brain can change. And through neuroplasticity, you have the power to reshape your thinking and, by extension, your reality. Here's where it gets wild. When you start shifting your mindset around money, your brain begins to create new neural pathways. Instead of thinking, "I'll never be wealthy," you start thinking, "There's a way for me to achieve abundance." Your brain isn't just sitting there, passively taking in information. It's actively creating new connections that align with your new belief system. The more you reinforce positive thoughts about wealth and success, the more your brain adapts to this new perspective. Your old habits and limiting beliefs start to dissolve, and in their place, you build a mindset that's open to opportunity, growth, and prosperity. But it's not just about thinking differently. Neuroplasticity isn't magic, it's about consistent action. You can't expect to just sit and wish for wealth. The brain, while malleable, thrives on repetition and practice. The more you engage in activities, thoughts, or behaviors that align with abundance, the stronger those neural pathways become. Want to feel more confident about making money? Act as if you already are. Start making decisions that someone with abundance would make. Take calculated risks. Learn to associate wealth with positive feelings instead of fear or discomfort. And guess what? Your brain will start to wire itself in a way that mirrors those new actions and attitudes. You'll start to feel more comfortable in situations where money is involved, and that comfort will translate into more opportunities. This is where things get really interesting. Neuroplasticity isn't just about rewiring your thoughts, it's also about rewiring your emotions. Emotional habits play a huge role in the way we manifest things into our lives. If you constantly feel anxiety or fear when thinking about money, those emotions are reinforcing a neural network that says, money equals stress. But if you start to associate wealth with excitement, creativity, and freedom, your brain begins to build a whole new set of associations. It's no longer just about the number in your bank account, it's about how you feel when you think of abundance. Your brain rewires itself to seek out positive, wealth-attracting opportunities rather than avoiding them out of fear or insecurity. And here's the kicker, this process isn't just a one-time thing. It's ongoing. Every day, your brain is constantly adapting and changing. So, every time you make a choice that aligns with your abundance mindset, whether it's investing in yourself, making a bold move in business, or simply believing that wealth is possible, you are reinforcing the new neural pathways that are making abundance your new reality. It's like a snowball effect. The more you embrace this mindset, the more neuroplasticity takes hold, and the more your brain will work with you instead of against you. So, if you're serious about attracting wealth, don't just wait for things to happen. Start consciously changing the way you think, feel, and act. Your brain is ready to adapt and grow with you, and as you align more closely with the energy of abundance, your reality will shift. Neuroplasticity isn't just about making a mental change, it's about rewiring your brain to become a magnet for success. It's about setting yourself up to not only believe in abundance but to actively live it. Number 5. Quantum holography. Alright, let's dive into quantum holography. It's one of those concepts that feels like it belongs in a sci-fi movie, but it might just hold the key to understanding how consciousness and wealth manifestation are linked. Don't worry, we'll keep this relatable, not like a physics lecture. Think of quantum holography as a bridge between the invisible workings of the universe and the very tangible outcomes in your life. So, first, what even is a holograph? Imagine a photograph, but instead of being flat, it's three-dimensional and captures not just an image but the depth and essence of what it represents. A hologram doesn't just reflect light, it encodes the entire picture in every fragment. Cut a hologram into pieces, and each piece still contains the whole image. Now, take that idea and scale it up to the universe. That's quantum holography. It's the idea that everything, every atom, every thought, every possibility, is interconnected and encoded within the fabric of reality. Here's the crazy part, you're part of this hologram, and so is your consciousness. Your thoughts, your intentions, and even your beliefs are like waves rippling across this massive quantum field. In this field, nothing exists as fixed. Everything is in a state of potential, waiting for a catalyst, your consciousness, to make it real. Wealth, success, opportunities, it's all out there, encoded in the hologram. The question is, how do you tap into it? Think of quantum holography like tuning a radio. All the stations exist simultaneously, but you only hear the one you're tuned into. Your mind acts as the tuner, and your consciousness determines the frequency. What's wild is that this isn't just abstract theory. Quantum mechanics tells us that particles can exist in multiple states until observed. That observation, your focused attention, collapses the infinite possibilities into one reality. This is where Jacobo Grinberg's work comes in. He proposed that the brain doesn't just process reality, it actively constructs it. Through quantum holography, your consciousness might be shaping what you experience, like an artist painting on the canvas of the universe. But it's not just about thinking positive or wanting something really badly. The quantum field doesn't respond to wishful thinking, it responds to coherence. Coherence is when your thoughts, emotions, and intentions align so perfectly that they create a clear signal, like a laser cutting through fog. When you're scattered, doubting, overthinking, or juggling conflicting desires, your signal becomes noise. The hologram reflects back chaos. But when you focus with clarity and emotional intensity, the universe has no choice but to mirror that precision. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Quantum holography suggests that every part of the hologram contains the whole. This means the wealth or success you're striving for isn't out there somewhere, waiting for you to chase it. It's already encoded within you. You're not trying to create something new, you're simply tuning into the version of reality where that wealth already exists. It's like the answers are written in invisible ink, and your consciousness is the light that reveals them. Now, you might wonder, why do I see this in my daily life? The answer lies in your programming. Over time, your mind gets conditioned by beliefs, doubts, and societal narratives that act like filters. These filters distort the hologram, making it harder to perceive the possibilities right in front of you. But here's the good news, you can rewrite the program. Through focused intention, visualization, and emotional alignment, you can recalibrate your consciousness to resonate with the version of the hologram that holds your desires. And let's not forget the feedback loop. The more you align with the hologram, the more it feeds back evidence of your alignment. You start noticing synchronicities, opportunities, and shifts that reinforce your belief. This isn't magic, it's the hologram responding to the frequency you're projecting. The universe isn't some distant, detached force. It's interactive, like a mirror reflecting the essence of your consciousness back at you. So, what does all this mean for wealth manifestation? It means you don't need to get wealth, you need to become the frequency of it. Quantum holography isn't just a theory, it's a roadmap. And when you learn to navigate this holographic universe, you're not just playing the game. You're bending the rules. Number 6. Energetic echoes. Let's dive into this mind-bending concept of energetic echoes because it holds a key to understanding how consciousness and wealth manifestation are deeply connected. The idea of energetic echoes might sound a little abstract, but it's actually something that touches all of us on a daily basis, often without us even realizing it. You see, when you focus your thoughts on something, like manifesting wealth, those thoughts don't just disappear. They don't just vanish into thin air once you've had them. They create ripples, or echoes, that vibrate throughout the universe, and those echoes have a way of returning to you in ways you might not expect. Think of your thoughts as the stone you throw into a pond. When the stone hits the water, it creates a ripple that moves outward. The water, in this case, is the field of universal consciousness, and each thought you have sends out an energetic vibration that spreads. Now, the key part here is that these ripples, these energetic echoes, don't fade quickly. They travel, expand, and morph over time, finding their way back to you in some form, usually when you least expect it. What's so fascinating about this is how these echoes don't just bounce back to you the same way you sent them out. They're not one-to-one. Instead, they come back multiplied, altered, or intertwined with other energetic waves, creating new patterns that can influence your reality. If you think about wealth and abundance in a deep, emotional, and focused way, that energy gets absorbed into the universe's fabric and eventually returns to you, but it's never exactly the same as it was when it left. It might arrive as a business opportunity, an unexpected windfall, or even as a new mindset that helps you see the path to wealth in a clearer way. The universe doesn't just send back what you put in, it reconfigures it, making the echoes far more powerful than the initial thought. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. These energetic echoes aren't isolated to just one person. They overlap, intersect, and get tangled up with the energetic vibrations of everyone around you. So, if you're focusing on wealth, and you're surrounded by others doing the same, those echoes intertwine, strengthening and amplifying one another. It's like creating a web of positive, wealth-oriented energy that travels and weaves through everyone involved. The more aligned and focused the energy, the stronger the echo, and the greater the return. It's not just your thoughts influencing your reality, it's the collective resonance of many people focused on the same thing. But here's the twist, while these echoes are powerful, they're not entirely predictable. The universe has its own rhythm, its own way of bouncing back the energy you put out. Sometimes, the echoes come back immediately, like a wave crashing onto the shore. Other times, they may take their time, building up momentum over months or even years. This can feel frustrating at times, especially if you're putting in the work, focusing on wealth, but not seeing immediate results. However, just like an echo reverberates off mountains and cliffs before it returns to you, so too does the energy you've put out eventually find its way back in its own timing. The beauty of this whole system is that even if you can't always see the echoes returning right away, they are still at work. That feeling of having made progress or even the small signs that start showing up in your life are evidence of the energetic echoes in action. They're like little whispers, telling you to keep going, to stay aligned with the vision of wealth and abundance that you've set. And just as these echoes can bring wealth, they can also bring unexpected lessons, challenges, or obstacles. These aren't signs of failure, they're just the universe's way of reshaping the energy you put out, helping you grow in ways you might not have anticipated. The energetic echoes aren't always smooth or direct, but they are always in motion, working behind the scenes to align your reality with your deepest desires. Ultimately, the link between energetic echoes and wealth manifestation is a beautiful, intricate dance. It's a reminder that your thoughts and intentions are never alone. They send out ripples that resonate throughout the universe, returning to you in ways that can shape your reality in profound ways. Whether it's immediate or delayed, Whether it's clear or mysterious, the energetic echoes you create are constantly working to manifest your deepest desires, and if you stay tuned to that energy, you'll start to see just how real and powerful they can be. Number 7. Theta brainwave states. Alright, let's get into something that might sound a bit esoteric at first, but it's actually deeply connected to the way we experience the world, and, believe it or not, how we can manifest wealth. I'm talking about theta brainwave states. Now, before you roll your eyes and think this is some woo-woo stuff, hear me out. Theta brainwaves are a key player in how our minds process, heal, and create new possibilities. They hold the secret to unlocking deeper states of consciousness, which, in turn, might just be the key to unlocking your potential to manifest abundance. So, first things first, what exactly are theta brainwaves? Essentially, they are a type of brainwave that occurs when your brain is in a deeply relaxed, almost meditative state. You've probably experienced this without even realizing it, those moments when your mind isn't fully asleep, but you're not fully awake either. It's that sweet spot, that deep moment of calm, just before you drift off into sleep or as you wake up. Theta waves are those low-frequency brainwaves that happen between 4 and 8 Hz, and they're associated with states of deep relaxation, creativity, and heightened intuition. Now, what makes these brainwaves so fascinating when it comes to wealth manifestation is how they interact with our subconscious mind. See, most of the time, we're operating in what's called beta brainwaves, which are fast and active. In the beta state, we're focused on daily tasks, problem solving, and reacting to the world around us. But the beta state can also make us rigid. We get stuck in patterns of thinking, and it becomes harder to step outside the box, to see beyond what we know, to entertain new possibilities. Wealth, as we know, often requires a shift in perspective, an ability to see beyond the obvious and tap into something greater. This is where theta waves come in. When your brain enters the theta state, you're able to access deeper layers of consciousness. You move from just reacting to life to a space where you're open to receiving new insights, ideas, and creative solutions. You're essentially in a state where you can bypass the usual limits of your thinking and connect with the subconscious, which is where beliefs and deeply held patterns are formed. If your subconscious mind is filled with doubts, fears, or limiting beliefs about money, you're constantly fighting an internal battle. But when you enter theta, it's like getting a direct line to the subconscious, like an open channel where you can rewire old beliefs and replace them with ones that support abundance. Think of theta as a reset button for your mind. It allows you to reprogram those old, outdated beliefs that might be blocking your path to wealth. In theta, you're not limited by the usual constraints of logic or rational thinking. Your mind is more malleable, more open to new ideas, and more receptive to positive affirmations and visualizations. This is why many people turn to meditation, hypnosis, or even binaural beats to help them enter theta states, because it's in these states that real transformation can occur. But it doesn't just stop there. Theta brainwaves also play a huge role in creativity. When you're in theta, your brain is more open to generating new ideas. Your imagination runs wild, and suddenly, solutions to problems that seemed impossible before start to appear. This creative flow is essential when it comes to manifesting wealth. Often, abundance doesn't come in the form of waiting for something to fall into your lap. It's about being able to recognize opportunities, take inspired action, and think outside the box. The theta state opens the floodgates for that kind of thinking. It's like unlocking a treasure chest of potential that you never even knew was there. Now, imagine being able to access that creative, relaxed, open state of mind whenever you need to, especially when it comes to wealth manifestation. You'd be able to think more clearly, make better decisions, and approach challenges with a mindset that attracts rather than repels. When you're in theta, you're also more attuned to the subtle energies around you, the kind that can help guide you toward the opportunities and people that will push you closer to your goals. It's like having an intuitive compass that helps you navigate the path to abundance. Here's the key takeaway: Theta brainwaves are a gateway to a deeper, more intuitive connection with the universe. They allow us to tap into the subconscious and reprogram limiting beliefs, access creative insights, and develop a mindset that's open to receiving wealth. So, whether you're meditating, listening to certain frequencies, or just allowing yourself to relax deeply, entering Theta could be the secret ingredient you're missing in your manifestation practice. It's not just about attracting wealth, it's about rewiring your mind to align with abundance at a deeper level. And once that happens, the possibilities are endless. Number 8. The Reticular Activating System, RAS. Alright, let's talk about the Reticular Activating System, or RAS. Sounds fancy, right? But don't let the technical name throw you off. It's not some obscure piece of brain anatomy you'll never use. No, the RAS is like the secret gatekeeper of your mind, deciding what gets your attention and what doesn't. And here's the kicker: it's directly linked to how you manifest wealth, success, or whatever you're aiming for. Intrigued? Let's break it down. The RAS is a bundle of nerves sitting at the base of your brain, and it has one simple job: to filter information. Think about it, your brain is bombarded with millions of bits of data every second. The colors, sounds, sensations, smells, thoughts, it's overwhelming. If your brain didn't have a way to sort through all that noise, you'd go nuts. That's where the RAS steps in. It's like your personal bouncer, letting in only what's relevant and kicking the rest to the curb. Now, here's where things get interesting. The RAS isn't just randomly picking and choosing what to focus on. Nope. It listens to you. Whatever you prioritize, consciously or subconsciously, becomes the criteria for what the RAS lets in. If your mind is fixated on problems, guess what? The RAS will spotlight every possible issue, amplifying your stress. But if you're locked onto opportunities, abundance, or wealth, suddenly, those things start popping up everywhere. It's like having a built-in treasure map, but you have to program it first. The RAS doesn't care what you tell it to focus on, it doesn't judge or question. It just obeys. That's both the good news and the bad news. Because if your inner dialogue is all about lack, doubt, or fear, that's what the RAS will serve up. It's not out to sabotage you, it's just doing its job. The real question is, what kind of instructions are you giving it? Here's the wild part: the RAS works so seamlessly that you don't even realize it's happening. Ever notice how, when you're really into something, you seem to spot it everywhere? Like when you're thinking about buying something specific, and suddenly it feels like the universe has been plastering it all over the place? That's not the universe, it's your RAS kicking into high gear. It's tuned into whatever you've decided is important, and now it's working overtime to bring those things into your awareness. But let's connect this to wealth manifestation, because that's the juicy part. If you want to create a life of abundance, you have to program your RAS to filter for abundance. And no, this isn't about pretending everything's perfect when it's not. It's about deliberately choosing what you focus on, even when reality tries to pull you in a million different directions. It's like telling your RAS, "Hey, this is what matters to me," and then watching as it starts to spotlight opportunities, resources, and ideas that align with that vision. But here's the thing, the RAS doesn't respond to vague instructions. If you tell it, "I want to be rich," that's too fuzzy. What does rich even mean? The RAS needs clarity. When you visualize wealth, not just in terms of money, but in the way it feels, looks, and impacts your life, you're giving your RAS a specific target. And when you combine that with strong emotions, you're basically supercharging the process. Your RAS will filter out the static and zero in on the signals that match your vision. This isn't just about thoughts, though. The RAS thrives on action. When you back up your focus with consistent steps toward your goal, it reinforces the programming. It's like telling your brain, see? This is real. Keep showing me more of this. And the RAS listens. It starts connecting the dots, revealing paths you didn't see before, because your mind wasn't tuned to that frequency. But don't think this is some one-and-done deal. Programming your RAS is a practice. It requires repetition, persistence, and a willingness to redirect your focus when old patterns creep back in. It's about training your mind to notice what you want, not just what's immediately in front of you. The RAS isn't magic, it's a tool. But when you use it with intention, it can feel like the world is rearranging itself to fit your desires. So, what's the takeaway? The RAS is like the spotlight operator in the theater of your mind. It can't control the whole stage, but it decides where the light goes. And when the light's in the right place, everything else starts falling into alignment. The power of your RAS is already in your hands, or, more accurately, in your head. The only question is, what are you shining it on? Number 9. Intentional heart-brain coherence. When we talk about intentional heart-brain coherence, we're diving into something that feels almost mystical, but is actually rooted in the powerful connection between the two most vital organs in our body, the heart and the brain. It's like they're both speaking their own languages, but when they align, something extraordinary happens. Think of it as a kind of harmony between your thoughts and emotions, and when that harmony is intentionally created, you unlock the potential to manifest your deepest desires, including wealth. So, let's break this down. Our brain, with all its thoughts and logic, is often seen as the control center of our actions. It's constantly sending signals, directing our behavior, and processing information. The heart, on the other hand, is considered the seat of emotion and intuition, beating rhythmically, yet with its own intelligence. It's like the heart feels things deeply, while the brain tries to make sense of them. But when these two, heart and brain, begin to work together in a focused, intentional way, they create something beyond the sum of their parts. Intentional heart-brain coherence is about syncing these two organs intentionally, bringing them into alignment to create a powerful force for manifestation. Imagine it like two musicians trying to play in sync. If one is out of rhythm, the whole piece feels off, no matter how great the individual instruments are. But when the brain and heart start playing the same tune, the energy they create is undeniable. It's a frequency that resonates with the universe, making it much easier to manifest things like wealth. But it's not just about thinking hard about what you want, it's about feeling it deeply in your core and aligning that feeling with your thoughts. This coherence works in two main ways. First, your thoughts have a tremendous influence on the world around you. When your brain is fixated on the idea of abundance, of wealth, you're sending out vibrations that are powerful. But here's the kicker, thoughts without feeling are often weak. You can think all day long about money or success, but if you don't feel the emotional resonance, that energy doesn't quite have the punch it needs to move things in the universe. The brain thinks, but the heart feels, and the universe responds to both in unison. The second aspect of heart-brain coherence comes from the emotional charge that aligns with those thoughts. When you hold the thought of wealth but back it up with a deep emotional feeling of having it already, feeling it in your bones, as though it's already part of your reality, you start creating a frequency that can shift things around you. It's like tuning into a radio station that's broadcasting the exact signal of abundance. Your brain and heart become a transmitter of that frequency, sending out a magnetic pull for the universe to deliver exactly what you're aligned with. Now, this isn't some woo-woo theory. When heart and brain are in coherence, something happens in your body. It's almost like an internal calibration, a recalibration of your energy. Studies have shown that when heart and brain are in sync, you experience an improved state of well-being. Your body systems work more efficiently, and you feel more focused and energized. But on a deeper level, this coherence sends out a powerful signal to the universe that you're not just passively wishing for wealth, you're actively vibrating at the frequency of it. This is a game changer when it comes to manifestation. Intentional heart-brain coherence doesn't just happen by accident. It requires focus and mindfulness. It's about consciously aligning your emotions and thoughts, getting clear on what you want, and then syncing your heart and brain to that desire. If your heart is feeling fear or doubt while your brain is thinking about abundance, the energy you're putting out is mixed, like trying to tune a radio to two different stations at the same time. You need to make sure that both your heart and your mind are sending the same signal, clear, powerful, and aligned. So how do you tap into this power? It starts with awareness. Tune into how your heart and mind are feeling. Are your thoughts in harmony with your emotions? Are you aligned with your desires, or are there doubts lingering in your heart? Meditation, breathing exercises, and visualization are great ways to cultivate this coherence, helping you focus on aligning your heart and mind with the feeling of already having wealth. When you cultivate heart-brain coherence, you're not just passively hoping for wealth. You're actively tuning yourself to its frequency, creating an energetic field that draws it into your life. And the universe? It's listening. It's waiting for you to send out that clear, coherent signal. So, when you consciously sync up your thoughts with your feelings, you set in motion a force so powerful, it's like you've turned on a magnet that pulls in opportunities, ideas, and circumstances that align with your wealth goals. In the end, intentional heart-brain coherence is not just about thinking, it's about feeling, believing, and resonating with the abundance that you wish to manifest. Number 10. Subtle energy fields. Let's talk about something that sounds pretty mysterious but is actually at the heart of how we experience and interact with the world around us: subtle energy fields. You've probably heard of energy in some form or another, but what does it really mean when we say that everything, people, objects, environments, is surrounded by a field of energy? And more importantly, how does this relate to the idea of manifesting wealth and abundance? To start, it's important to realize that we're not just talking about the energy you can see, like the physical force of electricity or the warmth from a fire. We're talking about a more subtle, invisible force. This kind of energy is often described as a field that exists beyond the physical realm, a type of energetic aura that surrounds us and everything around us. It's subtle because it can't always be measured or seen with the naked eye, but it's undeniably present. Think of it as the invisible threads that connect us all, constantly interacting, shifting, and influencing our lives in ways we might not even be aware of. Now, let's dig a little deeper. These subtle energy fields are all about vibration and frequency. Just like how sound waves have a certain frequency or how light has its own wavelength, everything in the universe vibrates at a particular frequency. And guess what? Our own bodies and minds are no exception. We're constantly radiating energy, whether we realize it or not. The emotions we feel, the thoughts we think, the decisions we make, all of these have an energetic signature that ripples out into the world. In fact, you could say that these subtle energy fields are like the signature of who we are on a deep, energetic level. When it comes to wealth manifestation, understanding and working with these subtle energy fields becomes absolutely crucial. Here's why. Our energy fields are constantly interacting with the energy fields of everything around us. That means that the more aligned we are with a certain type of energy, the more we attract it. This is where the concept of abundance comes into play. If your energy field is vibrating at a frequency that aligns with wealth, success, and prosperity, you are far more likely to attract situations, people, and opportunities that reflect those qualities. It's like a magnet, pulling in what matches your energetic signature. But here's the catch: we don't always consciously control our energy. In fact, many of us walk around with a mix of conflicting energies, thoughts, emotions, past experiences, that can either support or sabotage our ability to attract abundance. If you're constantly feeling stressed or thinking negatively about money, guess what? Those negative frequencies can distort your energy field, sending out signals of scarcity and lack instead of abundance. On the flip side, when you embrace positive thoughts, emotions, and actions that align with wealth, you're shifting your energy field into a space of openness and receptivity. This is where things get really interesting. Our energy fields aren't just about attracting or repelling wealth. They also have the power to heal, transform, and elevate us to new levels of consciousness. By becoming more aware of the subtle energy around us, we can begin to make intentional shifts in how we interact with it. Meditation, visualization, and even deep breathing techniques can help you tap into a state of awareness where your energy field becomes more aligned with the flow of abundance. And when your energy field is in that state, things start to shift. Opportunities seem to appear out of nowhere. Your thoughts become clearer, and your actions feel more in alignment with your goals. But it's not just about personal energy. Everything around you has its own subtle energy field, too. The spaces you inhabit, the people you interact with, even the media you consume, they all carry an energetic frequency. When you surround yourself with environments and people that are in harmony with the energy of abundance, your own energy field starts to resonate with that frequency. It's like tuning into a radio station that's broadcasting abundance and success. The more you align with these positive frequencies, the more your subtle energy field will begin to reflect those qualities, amplifying your ability to manifest wealth. So, how do you begin to consciously work with your subtle energy field? It starts with becoming more mindful of the energy you're radiating. What thoughts, emotions, and beliefs are you carrying with you? Are they supporting your vision of success, or are they holding you back? Once you become more aware of your own energetic patterns, you can start shifting them intentionally. Whether through meditation, energy healing practices, or simply being more conscious of your thoughts, aligning your energy with abundance can dramatically change the way you experience the world, and how wealth shows up in your life. In the end, understanding subtle energy fields isn't just about attracting wealth in a material sense. It's about harmonizing with the natural flow of abundance that's already around us. When we consciously align our energy with that flow, we tap into a deeper, more powerful force that can transform our lives in ways we never thought possible. That wraps up today's deep dive into the fascinating connection between consciousness and wealth manifestation, with Jacobo Grinberg's groundbreaking research as a guide. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with those who need to hear this, and subscribe for more content that explores the mysteries of the mind and how it shapes our reality. Remember, your thoughts have power, harness them wisely. Until next time, stay focused and keep manifesting your dreams.